Here we've got three simple circuits, but what happens when we flip the switch on each one? Go ahead, take a guess. The first is just a power source and a light bulb. Nice and simple. The second adds a capacitor in series with the bulb. And in the third, we swap that capacitor for an inductor. Let's find out together. I'll show the bulb's brightness on a simple graph so we can see exactly what's going on. Let's start with the first circuit. When the switch is off, no current flows, the bulb stays dark, brightness is 0. But as soon as we close the switch, the bulb lights up instantly. Brightness jumps straight to full. Nothing surprising here, just like at home. Flip the switch and the light comes on right away. Now for the second circuit, the one with the capacitor. Same beginning, switch off, bulb off, brightness 0. But when we turn the switch on, something interesting happens. The bulb flashes bright for a moment, then slowly fades and goes dark. Clearly, that capacitor is changing the game. Next up, the third circuit, the one with the inductor in series with the bulb. Again, switch off, no light, but this time, when we close it, the bulb doesn't glow right away. It starts dim, then gradually brightens until it's fully glowing after a short delay. The inductor is definitely doing its own thing here. So why do these three circuits behave so differently? Let's find out. We'll compare our three main players, the resistor, the capacitor, and the inductor. Each one behaves differently, and it all comes down to how voltage and current are related. For a resistor, voltage and current move perfectly in step. Ohm's law says V equals I times R. When voltage goes up, current goes up, instantly, together. You can flip it around any way you like. I equals V over R, or R equals V over I. For a capacitor, current depends on how fast the voltage is changing. In words, it's current equals capacitance times the rate of change of voltage. Flip that around and we get voltage equals 1 over C times the integral of current over time. For an inductor, it's the opposite story. Voltage equals inductance times the rate of change of current. Or, in reverse, current equals 1 over L times the integral of voltage over time. Now, here's something special about capacitors and inductors. Both can store energy. A capacitor stores it in an electric field, while an inductor stores it in a magnetic field. These simple relationships explain all the weird and wonderful behavior we saw in those three circuits. So let's unpack what each one really means, one by one.
First, let's make a simple assumption. Our light bulb behaves like a resistor with resistance R. That'll keep things nice and clear. So whenever I say resistor, just think of the bulb. For the rest of the explanation, we'll use this modified circuit. It's almost the same as before, but now it has a two-way switch. When the switch is in position A, it connects the power source to the resistor, basically turning the light on. When we flip it to position B, it disconnects the power source and instead forms a closed loop through the bulb itself.
Let's start with the resistor. The equation tells us that voltage and current are always proportional to each other. Here's our circuit. I'm measuring the voltage across the resistor and the current through it and plotting both on a graph. When the switch is in position B, the power source is disconnected, so both voltage and current are 0. Flip the switch to A, voltage appears across the resistor and the current instantly follows. Flip it back to B and both drop to 0 again. Now look at the graphs. When the current is 0, the voltage is 0 too. When the voltage is steady, the current is steady as well. That perfectly confirms our equation. Voltage and current rise and fall together. No matter what happens, current responds instantly to voltage and always flows in the same direction. So when we turn the switch on, voltage hits the bulb, current flows immediately, and the light comes on at once. Turn the switch off, voltage disappears, current stops, and the bulb goes dark just as quickly. Nothing mysterious here. Resistors behave exactly as expected.
Simple, instant, and predictable.
Now let's move on to the capacitor. The rule for a capacitor says that the current through it depends on how quickly the voltage is changing over time. In other words, current equals capacitance times the rate of change of voltage. If anything here feels unclear, check out our full video on capacitors. The link's in the description. Here's our circuit again. I'm measuring the voltage across the capacitor and the current through it and plotting both on a graph. When the switch is in position B, the power source is disconnected, so both voltage and current are 0, and the light bulb stays off. Now, when we flip the switch to position A, something interesting happens. The bulb flashes brightly for a moment, then gradually fades and turns off. Meanwhile, the voltage across the capacitor rises slowly, not instantly. After a short time, it levels off and matches the supply voltage. At first, there's a big surge of current, but as the capacitor charges, that current gradually drops to 0. Next, when we flip the switch back to position B, the bulb flashes again and then fades out as the capacitor discharges. This time, the voltage across it slowly falls and the current briefly flows in the opposite direction before fading to 0 again.
Now let's take a closer look at the graphs. We can divide what's happening into 5 regions. First, voltage is constant at 0. Its rate of change is 0, so current is 0 too. Then voltage starts increasing, but the rate of change slows down, and current does the same. When voltage becomes steady, current drops back to 0. Next, voltage begins to fall, again with a slowing rate, and current mirrors it, negative at first, then returning to 0. Finally, everything settles. Voltage, rate of change, and current are all 0. Notice how the current is always proportional to how fast the voltage changes. That's exactly what our equation predicts. It also explains the bulb's behavior. It only lights up when the voltage across the capacitor is changing, either while charging or discharging. Once the current hits 0, no current flows through the bulb and it goes dark. So now you can see why the bulb only flashes once each time we change the switch position. When the switch is in position A, the capacitor charges up. We can describe that with a simple exponential curve, showing why the voltage change slows down over time. Don't worry about the math. These equations all come directly from the basic voltage-current relationship. If you'd like to see the derivation, check out our full capacitor video, link in the description. Once the capacitor is fully charged, flipping the switch to position B makes it discharge, and we can describe that with a similar exponential curve. Now here's an important idea. The product of resistance and capacitance, R times C, is called the time constant, or tau. It tells us how quickly the capacitor charges or discharges. The larger the resistance or the capacitance, the slower the change. After one time constant, the voltage across the capacitor changes by about 63% of the total difference, whether charging or discharging. So the time constant gives us a clear, simple way to measure how fast or slow a capacitor responds. Next, let's look at the inductor circuit. The rule for an inductor says the voltage across it depends on how quickly the current is changing over time. In other words, voltage is proportional to the rate of change of current, how fast the current is increasing or decreasing. If you'd like a deeper dive, check out our full video on inductors. The link's in the description. Here's our circuit again. I'm measuring the voltage across the inductor and the current through it, and plotting both on a graph. When the switch is in position B, the power source is disconnected, so both voltage and current are 0, and the bulb stays dark. Now flip the switch to position A, and something different happens. The bulb doesn't flash instantly like before. It starts dim, then gradually brightens until it reaches full glow. At first, the current is 0 and begins to rise slowly. Meanwhile, the voltage across the inductor jumps instantly to the supply voltage, then slowly falls towards 0.
That's because the inductor resists sudden changes in current. It pushes back until a magnetic field builds up around it. Flip the switch back to B, and the bulb doesn't go dark right away. It keeps glowing for a bit, then fades gradually. Even with the power source disconnected, current keeps flowing as the inductor releases its stored energy. During this time, the voltage briefly flips negative, a quick spike in the opposite direction, before returning to zero.
Let's take a closer look at the graphs. We can break the behavior into 5 stages. First, the current is 0, no change, so voltage is 0 too. Then, as the current starts rising, its rate of change slows down, and the voltage follows the same pattern. Once the current becomes steady, the voltage drops back to 0. Next, the current begins to fall, again slowing down, and the voltage mirrors it, starting negative, then fading back to 0. Finally, everything settles. Current, voltage, and their rates of change are all 0. Notice how the voltage across the inductor always matches how fast the current is changing, exactly what our equation predicts.
This also explains what we see with the light bulb. When there's no current, the bulb is off. When we connect the power source, the current starts to rise and the bulb gradually brightens. Once the current reaches its maximum, the bulb glows steadily. Then, when we disconnect the power, the inductor releases its stored energy. The bulb glows for a moment before slowly fading out. So the inductor doesn't let the current change instantly. It actively resists sudden changes. And that's why the light bulb brightens and dims smoothly each time we move the switch. When the switch is in position A, the inductor is energizing. The current follows an exponential curve, which shows why it starts increasing quickly and then slows over time. Don't worry too much about the math. These equations come directly from the basic voltage-current relationship. If you'd like to see the derivation, check out our full video on inductors, link in the description. Once the inductor is fully energized, flipping the switch to position B makes it de-energize in a similar way, following the same relationship. Now, here's an important concept. The term L divided by R, inductance over resistance, is called the time constant, or tau. It tells us how quickly the inductor charges or discharges. By changing the inductance or resistance, we can control how fast or slow this happens. After one time constant, the current changes by about 63% of its total difference, whether it's building up or dying out. So the time constant gives us a clear way to measure how fast or slow an inductor responds, just like the capacitor, but in reverse.
So I hope you now have a good understanding of how these 3 basic pillars of electronics work. Let's summarize their characteristics like this. Resistors always resist current in a steady, constant way. They don't care whether the voltage or current is changing. The voltage across a resistor is always proportional to the current through it. Capacitors resist changes in voltage, delaying voltage shifts by absorbing or releasing energy. Inductors resist changes in current, delaying current flow in the same way by storing and releasing energy. Capacitors and inductors differ from resistors because they can store energy. Capacitors in an electric field, and inductors in a magnetic field. We can also control how quickly capacitors and inductors charge or discharge by adjusting the time constant of the circuit. So that's all. I hope this gave you a clear picture of how these 3 components behave. If you find our content valuable, you can support us by joining our Patreon community. It really helps us keep creating more educational videos. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more science content.